Hi guys, welcome back. I'm excited to make another video, and as you see in the title, I'm going to be talking about abortion. Alrighty guys, so I know that's a hard topic to really talk about, and I know a lot of people have been avoiding to talk about it because everyone wants to have, their own will on their body and decide for themselves, or it's their choice. And it's not even much of their choice, it's the baby's choice. It's who's speaking for the baby, who's speaking for the human being that's in that person's womb, because it is a human being. I thought it was awesome to share and talk about this, my thoughts on my birthday. Today is my birthday, and I was just talking to my mom about this days before, of how was it for her when she found out that she was pregnant with me. What were her thoughts? Did she ever think about, hey, you know what, I don't think I'm ready? Because I was a baby that was not planned. My mom for sure was not financially stable. She didn't even finish high school, for that matter. And she was in an abusive relationship, and physically. And she could have aborted me, but I asked her, I'm like, why didn't you? And she's like, you know what? It's not your fault for whatever my decision, or for whoever's other decision, or someone else's fault. It's not your fault. At the end of the day, it's not you. And it's God's blessing to be planting a baby, a human being in my womb. And for me to reject that human being into this world, it's not fair. And it's just not your fault. And that's what she kept on saying, like, it's not your fault. It's no baby's fault to feel like they should be blamed for coming to this world, and I know a lot of people have reasons, either they were raped, like from either a family member or a stranger, or I don't know, or it was unexpected, or homeless. I don't know. I know there's so many reasons why people choose to abort, but at the same time, it's saddened because it's really not the baby's fault. Whoever did what they did that was wrong, completely wrong, out of your consent, how is it to blame the baby for it? And there's so many other, I guess you can say, sources. If you were to really feel just hurt by it, like you're just like, you know what, I really can't. You don't understand what happened to me. I really can't. Well, at least have the baby and give it up for adoption. Like, there is so many mothers, or wanting to be mothers, that can't have babies. It's just they're unable to carry a human being in their womb, and they're willing to take someone else that is willing to. And you can definitely be a blessing for that person. So that's just a small thought to that, about that. I also will be sharing with you Armed and Dangerous, this book that my mom suggested to me for me to read. And this book actually tackles a lot of very hard topics to talk about, and it's straight answers from the Bible. And it comes from like loyalty to honesty. It even talks about hell. It talks about divorce. It talks about death. You name it. It talks about everything. So I'll be sharing this with you guys, a few scriptures, and it even shares abortion, which I am excited because I'm just like, I was asking my mom, like, wow, like, I mean, I can give my opinion or my thoughts or how I feel of what God has given us for Christians, because it is wrong for us. It is wrong for us to take a life from another human being, no matter what process they're in, because people like to say, well, you know what, they haven't even, like, they don't even have legs, they don't even have a heartbeat, or they don't have this, they don't even have eyes. Like, just because of where they are and they haven't fully developed, that means it gives you every right to take their life away. It doesn't. Because if that's the case, toddlers are not fully developed. So should we murder toddlers? I think not. It's a huge debate, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I mean, I really find it wrong and just unfair, you know. So yeah, let me just share with you guys a few scriptures. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna read Jeremiah 1:5, and it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." God knew you before you were formed in the womb. Like, he formed you, but he already knew you, and that is very amazing in every way. And that before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Like, God is just amazing, and he already had a plan for you. He has a plan for you. And for the ones that are in like, for instance, if you have a friend that is pregnant or know someone that's pregnant, like, God already has plans for that baby. That baby is formed in God's image. It is perfection. And speaking of image, in Genesis 1:26, it says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Like, God didn't have, because we are God's creation. He didn't just create us and be like, well, here you go, this is how you guys are going to be formed. Like, no, he's just like, they're going to be made perfect according to me. And he did. And he knows us before we were even born. And that is just beautiful. As well as in Psalms 127:3, it says, "Children are the heritage of God, of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward." That is a reward, guys. When a woman is able to be pregnant, that is a reward. That is a blessing from the Lord. And that's something that we should not take for granted. That's something that we should not reject or destroy, it coming from God. Like, doesn't that even, I just don't get how that doesn't, I believe we hear it so much that, you know, the science and how the baby is formed and, you know, the development through the process of each month. I understand that people get caught up with that, but doesn't it amaze you that a human being is being born from another human being? Like, that is crazy, and that is coming from God. I also do want to share with you guys, last one is in Isaiah 49:15, and I actually never really read this one, but this one's really amazing and beautiful. And it says, "Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget, yet I will not forget thee." And for me, like, I was just like, what? Like, this is a crazy, like, I've never read this before. And it's basically what I'm reading, what I'm understanding is that a woman might forget about that child, or either abandon or really not put much care to the child, or forget or whatever about her son or daughter. But it's saying she might forget, but I will not forget. I've made you. You are my creation. You are perfect because of me, because I've created you. And that is just amazing. And I love that all kids, all babies, all human beings should deserve a chance in this world, a chance to live, a chance to breathe, a chance to learn, a chance to explore. Like, I can't imagine if my mom would have aborted me and just never had me. I don't know. And I can't imagine if who's ever watching this, if you were a plan to be aborted and you were never born. Like, for the most part, the friends that I know that I'm very close to, it would be heartbreaking if they were never part of my life. You know, I just can't imagine that. And if only we can see in the future, I bet you there would be so many people that would avoid abortion, because they would know that that child would be an impact to other people's lives. That child could be used for God's purpose. But we're trying to jump to conclusion because of our own feelings, because it's our own body, and we want to decide for ourselves to take away someone else's life and be like, you know what? They have no say because they're not fully developed, It's not even a full baby. It's not even an infant, so it has no say, so it's not going to affect it. No, that's a living being. Like, that's a human that you're taking its life away. You're taking its opportunity to make out of itself. It to be used in God's world and in God's earth. And I just don't get it, how people can be so heartless. And it just amazes me that I sometimes I don't even have words to this, I don't have words. And I just want to put it this to you guys, that for whoever has had an abortion before, if you've repented and asked God for forgiveness, He has forgiven you. I'll tell you that. He has forgiven you. And do not hold that guilt on you. Like, ask God for forgiveness and move on forward. But for anyone who is watching this that is planning to have an abortion, I would honestly highly suggest to stop and pray and ask God for guidance. And for whatever pain you're holding, whatever circumstance you're in, and whatever happened in your life, ask God to heal you, because He's the only one that can restore your pain. And no human being will be able to help you with any type of therapy, or, I mean, it is helpful, but I'm just saying, be fully restored and to avoid having an abortion, you have to seek God. He's the only way and the light to recover all of that, and not have that heavy load and that pain in your heart for whatever reason why you want to abort. And as well, I'll finish with this too, as well, with like couples out there that are having sexual intercourse, and regardless if they're married or not, I honestly think it's so wrong as well, using the plan B solution. Like, if you're doing, like, if you're active, having sexual intercourse with your partner or with your boyfriend, even though it is a sin against God, like, you've gone through all the way and you are pregnant, you have to go through all the way. Like, why are you putting that against someone else that have no say? They're not even able to speak, and you're basically saying, you know what, you're not allowed to be born, you're not even allowed to live, so you're gonna be done. Like, that is not fair. That is completely unfair. So think about it twice before you are sexually active, either with your husband or with your boyfriend. Guys, it is a blessing from God. And one of the main things that everyone actually remembers, at least for the most part, when it comes to God and the Bible, it says, God says to be fruitful and multiply. Being fruitful and multiply. He didn't say be fruitful and perhaps decide if you want to multiply. He didn't say that. He said be fruitful and multiply, because it is a blessing from God. So that is it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. It's a lot to cover, but that was basically all that was really in my heart. If you have any questions or anything, you can always email to me. Well, not really, I don't have my email. I'm not gonna put my email, but you can get in contact with me through social media, Facebook or Snapchat, and Facebook. But please be nice and polite about it. I will not respond to anyone that's being vicious or just being disrespectful. I understand that everyone has their own views in certain topics, especially this type of topic, but just being in mind that it's another human being. It's another human being, and just think of them. Think of them and think what they can be in the future, who they can impact, All right, guys, quick addition. Just really think about this. This has been literally just planted in my heart right now. Think about it in this way. Imagine your favorite person in this world besides Jesus. Either your brother, your sister, your best friend, a mentor, a teacher, whoever. Just imagine if they didn't exist. If their life was taken away in an early age, in an early stage of their life. How would your life be different? Since this favorite person that is in your life has impacted you so much, how would your life be different? think about that, guys. Think about that. And if you don't have any relationship with anyone, for any human being for that matter, think about how would life be without God? How would life be without God's existence? Just think about that and pray about it. Love you guys. Bye.